Okay. Ooh, excuse me, excuse me. Check 1 2, check 1 2. I probably shouldn't be drinking tea right before stream. That's a bad thing by itself. That's a bad thing by itself. But yeah. Hey Nuggets, welcome to the food truck after dark. Wait, that doesn't sound right. We're always streaming after dark anyway. So this is, I guess, the usual. All things considered, this is still the usual. But anyway, let's see. What are we doing here today? So today, I kind of wanted to try doing like open room Mahjong. For anyone who might want to be, who might be interested to play, learn how to play, that kind of thing. I feel like I'm actually doing things a little bit weird as far as order-wise on how I'm supposed to be doing this. So the plan may go from open room mahjongs to mahjong training arc, and then maybe eventually doing an open room thing once I can actually tell there's actually enough interest in this. Yeah, I think, well, we'll see how tonight goes. I really didn't plan this. I didn't think this through too well. I just saw, what do you call it? I just saw there might be some interest, and I think I may have jumped the gun just a little bit. I probably shouldn't be admitting that right now, but hey, I'm just thinking out loud for the most part. For the most part, just thinking out loud. Anyway, let's see. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and warm up first with a few games, and then once I warm up, and then if we get enough people here, then we can start. What do you call this? Doing that. But let me just make a note here really quick. Warming up. Optimism is a good thing. I would like to think so. I would like to think so. But there is an order I should be following first before I actually do things. And I don't think things through. I don't think things through very well. But yeah. But let's see. I'm gonna warm up first a little bit though. Warming up with a few rounds. Then seeing if anyone wants to try a game. Let's try that first. I'm gonna pin that, except I can't pin it through here. Why? This is why I use the other thing. There we go. That's why I use the other thing. I thought I could pin it through there. Okay, so let's warm up really quick first for anyone who may not know how, what do you call this? Mahjong works. I'll try to explain things if there's any questions, but it's a little hard to actually explain if I don't know what to explain. That's just kind of how it is. Basically, Mahjong for me is like chill times, chill, trying to like just unwind kind of thing. I haven't actually played in forever. So I'm gonna be super rusty. Super rusty. Whew. Or I could go like 100% mode off the bat, but that's gonna take a little while. Yeah, that's gonna take a little while. I did bring out the sake for tonight as a botsu for myself. Whenever the rooms do open up. Okay, stream elements, you're trolling me again. The chat is not showing. Why? Why is it not showing? Stream elements do be doing things, and the game is stuck. Honestly, I got the general idea of the game when I try to learn about Yaku. I think of the thing a lot of people have. What do you call this? Are kind of confused about is this thing called Yaku, and the chat is not showing up again because stream elements is being silly. Let's see if other chat will work. Nope, that's not it. That's not the chat I'm looking for. Okay, we will have to probably use other chat. Or maybe it's not showing up because it's not. No, it's just not showing up, period. And the game is stuck. The game is stuck, among other things. Great. Well, that's okay. I'm trying to... Oh, you know what? You know what's probably wrong? It's probably... No, that shouldn't be the case, though. I wonder if this is the order of things. Hold up. Nope, that's not it. Are we live? Okay, I think we're back now. I think we're back. And the chat is still not back on my screen, so what do with this one? I think Stream Elements is being buggy recently. I'm not exactly sure why. That's a little bit disappointing on my part, to be honest. Well, let's just say let's just hope it just might be a OBS thing, because I feel like it's just an OBS thing. Something with OBS, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've been seeing a little bit more Mahjong than more interest in Mahjong recently than usual? Question mark? It's been happening to others too? Really? Is it an OBS thing or is it a Stream Elements thing? Because I know my suspicion is it's Stream Elements, but it could also be OBS, because for some reason when I do put on... No, that's not it. It's I think it's because I also have Streamlabs cropped. That's probably the other reason why the other chat is not showing up. I could try, at the risk of crashing the stream again. But yeah, Yaku. Well, I'll talk about Yaku stuff once I figure this out as I'm doing this. Let's see. So Streamlabs does work. I know that much. Now, what if I move? Oh, there we go. Streamlabs chat works, so we're gonna use a Streamlabs chat. It's not gonna be great, but it is what it is. It is what it is. There we go. Okay, better than nothing. Better than nothing. But yeah, Yaku's like one of those things that's really difficult to get a grasp on. Even I don't remember all of them. I go for like some really basic ones that are easy to remember, and then try to go from there. Also, I mean, there's also this other concept where you try to figure out what kind of hand you have, and seeing how far until you can complete that hand. There's a technical term to it, but basically it's like you're trying to figure out what's the least number of discards I have to do to be able to get a valid hand, and if it's far or not far, risky or not risky, then you either decide to go for it or just discard it entirely. It can be complicated, but I mean, if you just stick to a few basics at the beginning, then it's not too bad. Let's just say this first round is pretty much crap for everyone. So I still have to pay everyone because they do have hands waiting for a valid win. That's what basically the Tenpai wait was for. I mean, the exhaustive draw, and then they're like in Tenpai. Tenpai just means that you are one away from completing your hand. And however you get that last tile, I guess that just depends on whether you draw it or someone else discards it, and then you can win off that. But there's also a caveat to that, is you can't win off anything that you have already discarded unless you draw it yourself, which is something a lot of people do forget. But some people do that intentionally and score basically big points for doing that. It's a very risky move. Very risky move. Hey Workshop, welcome. How's it going? How's it going? But yeah, I'm just warming up right now with a few matches, or at least maybe this one match. See how that goes. It's been forever. It's been forever. I'm honestly not sure what I want to do here. I kind of want to like try to see if I can complete a flush of pins, which is the circles, or I just go for my usual Tanya, which is no ones or nines or honors, which are basically the wind tiles and the red, white, and green dragons. It's like the easiest thing to do, but it's also the most predictable thing to do, and because of that, I'm super predictable. For better or worse, I'm super predictable. But if I'm just warming up, I'll do that, and then if I can figure out what the heck my hand is gonna try to do, it'll be easier to do things from there. It's just really tough sometimes because it looks like it could go anywhere, and I'm not really good trying to figure out how far off my hand is to completion. But I used to be really good at figuring out what other people had. Used to, keyword. Crap. None of this is good. Let's get rid of this. That Dora, I hope no one wants it. High-level Mahjong eventually becomes either really good luck, a mixture of really good luck and really good reads on what everyone is trying to do. Like this person over here, I think they're just going for triplets, but the question is, what triplets are they going for? I don't think there's very much interest in... No, a lot of people are hoarding characters, just who has the characters? No one's going for wins. It looks like wins are bust in this round, for the most part. I'm trying to find something I can toss. How many 4s are left? Let's get rid of this. It's a little hard to figure out what this person's doing. It's a little hard to figure out the person on the left of me is doing. Ricci? Ricci's really dangerous, by the way. But sometimes you just have to put a little pressure on everyone else, which I'd rather do right now. I am putting the pressure on. Oh wow, really? Ipatsu Sumo? I'll take it. Ipatsu Sumo Ricci, nice. Yeah, Ricci is really, really dangerous unless you know someone is going to try to discard something that you need. Or you got no other options but to Ricci. I really usually don't try to Ricci like mid game or late game, just because there's no point to it. Honestly, there's no point to it. When you're in your like third row with discards, which I would consider late game for that round, you may as well just try to complete your hand. Ooh, I think I know what I can do with this. Hold up. You may as well just try to complete your hand in a way that you are in Tenpai and try not to deal into anyone else. Rule number 1, I will say this over and over again. The point of any Mahjong game is not to lose. You do not want to lose, but however, doesn't mean you can't try to win. You just don't want to lose and get fourth place. that's the worst part. I thought that Ipatsu would be rare. What is Ipatsu? Ipatsu, I think, is just getting it after. If you Richi and you get it within one turn, I think that's what's called an Ipatsu, right? Yeah, it is kind of rare. It is pretty rare. Most people will get a. You probably have a higher chance of getting a sumo Ipatsu rather than someone dealing into you run kind of Ipatsu. But it's not a zero chance. But I think at the same time I should have. If you really didn't want to YOLO it, you could also look at the discard and see if anyone is likely to discard something that you need for a higher chance of winning. But it's like, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. I usually play Mahjong on a very instinctual level. Very instinctual. First time we went on stream is just that. I know. I would like to at one of these days get a Yakuman on stream. That is difficult. It's super difficult. I mean, there's some obvious Yakumans. The really easy Yakuman to get is 3 dragons. Basically collect all the red, white, and green dragons in your hand. Easier said than done. Easier said than done, but it's pretty easy if you can manage to get it. All things considered. Let's get rid of this. So this guy is over here is pretty dangerous. At the very least, they have the Yaku from the red dragon. That's at least one Yaku. I don't know if they're going to be going for all honors, all end tiles. That's really dangerous, so I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can discard stuff that they already discarded, so I don't try to play into their hand. At least that's what I'm trying to do. So discarding the white is also really dangerous right now. Like, you can't really see it because my head is blocking it, but they're like they may be one away. So I'm. Who? Holy crap! That's a lot of Dora. Wow. Oh, my background music's playing worse. How do I turn off my background music? Chat BGM. Turn that off. Okay, so I didn't lose all the points I got. But it's like, oop, I will take that with interest. No, not with interest. I will take those points. No interest paid yet. Crap. Sure. I'm also probably at the level in this game where I can't win very easily anymore. Once you get out of novice, it's really hard to like just get super lucky, because at this level, especially when you're trying to get into masters or something, or expert, I think is up after adept. People actually have a little better idea on what they're doing, and if you've been on break for a while, it's a little bit harder to do that. Would not recommend drinking while doing this, but you know, if you're good enough, I guess you can afford that handicap, which I'm not quite there. I used to be. I'm gonna shrink myself a little bit so you can see this other person's hand. Ah, jeez, that's really tempting though. I'm gonna at least try to set myself up for for some pawns here. We got the 1s, we got the 3s, we got the 6s. Not losing money, drink away. Ooh, you never know that. You never know that. I'm at the very least losing my pride, whatever little pride I have left with Mahjong. It's like if you've ever seen Akagi or Sake. Well, Sake is like lower stakes Mahjong, to be honest. But it's also Magic Mahjong. Akagi, on the other hand, is high stakes Mahjong. Yakuza Mahjong with lots of money and lives on the line, apparently. Mostly money. Enough to put you in debt for forever, just like Kaiji. Kaiji, I feel like, just gets lucky. Also, if you see Chinese names with avatars, you gotta be careful about these guys. They're really crafty. They're really crafty with their discards. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start. Well, either I do pawns or I can set myself up for a toy 7 pairs. Good enough, I guess. Gonna try to set myself up for tiles that people have already discarded, like this one, though it's not a great chance. We'll see. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I don't know what people are doing, but definitely we don't want any mons today, so that would have been a great wait. Someone's hoarding the dragons. That's not a good sign. Oh, if I kept that, we would have been that much closer. Crap. Crap. Well, I think people are super defensive at this last bit now. Let's see, what could I have done? Oh, you went Ricci. What? Okay, so I'm going to be wary of you. I'm just going to be discarding everything that you already didn't want. Okay, that person's crazy. Okay, fine. Let's go pawn. It was my turn anyway. Just gonna try to get my hand into Tenpai at this point, so that I don't have to pay up. Was this safe? It was safe, okay. This one's also safe. This is safe. Usually by the time, after the first row of discards, if I don't get my honor tiles, I typically toss them away. It works half the time. The other half of the time it doesn't. Really? Okay, I'm just gonna go for safe tiles. Really? I wasn't gonna discard that red anytime soon. Are you crazy? No. No one discarded it. That was super dangerous. Need to figure out how to get out of last place. Ooh, that's a good start. How do we do this though? How do we do this? We're gonna need a lot of luck to pull this off. If I can get a 5 here, we would have a triple. And then everything else, we just wait for. All I can do is wait. I'm gonna try to hold on to the Dora as much as possible, because that would be nice to have. And then sensing a disturbance in the force, they already discarded their Dora, which is okay. Okay, we got a Yaku. That's a good sign, we got a Yaku. Now, nope. Never con if your hand is already closed. There's no reason to. There is absolutely no reason to. So we can probably get rid of this one. I don't want to get rid of it, but I have to. May as well signal to people early on that you probably don't want this. Or I don't want it. Works both ways. Crap. Well, I don't need a 6 or a 7. I need a 5. 5 or a 3. Teach me with the ways of Mahjong. Okay, what do you want to know? How do I teach you? That's a problem. I don't know where to teach. I'm trying to... it's a little bit difficult to try to teach this on the fly because I don't know what these guys are doing. All I can tell you right now is no one wants these red tiles. These red sword-looking tiles, I guess. We call them red dragons. No one wants them. No one wants the white. No, there's one white out. There's 2 more out somewhere. But I have a feeling I should get rid of mine because I really don't want it. Someone is hoarding tiles. I can feel it. We're already midway, so someone's hoarding tiles. But we have our win condition here. We just don't have enough to get a big hand, and I hate you. I hate you. You better not win off this. That was dangerous. I haven't seen a 6 out. Not many pin tiles out either. Okay, we good. We good. I was a little scared about that one. I feel like this is dangerous right here. Discarding any of this is dangerous right now. I don't see many out here. No one's probably gonna want these end tiles. These 8s over here. So there's 5. Yeah. So these are safe. I don't know if the 5 is safe. Discarding bamboos on this side is okay. Is this okay? Okay. I'm taking huge risks here. Spent a documentary's amount of time learning Mahjong. I only know how to play poker with tiles. It's basically poker with tiles. That's good. If you know how to play poker, you have a pretty good grasp already on how to play Mahjong. Everything else is just figuring out what the heck is everyone else is doing. Like, yeah, luck plays into this, but the skill part is trying to figure out what everyone else is doing, and that's the difficult part. What can you do with what you have, and what is everyone else doing? Wait, are you the dealer? You are not the dealer, so that would have ended the round right there. Okay. Okay. So, I think I'm warmed up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and open up a room. We're gonna do a 3-player Mahjong. So normally Mahjong is done with 4 players, but we can do a 3-player. That'll be easier to fill one, and hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to learn. Here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do East only. That way the game is gonna be fairly short. 300 seconds, so that, what do you call this? Give you enough time. I don't know what this advanced is. We're not gonna mess with that. We're gonna mess with that. So here's a room key for Mahjong. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this and put it in chat for anyone who wants to play. And I'll replace the pinned message there. And so I'm just gonna wait here. Give it a little bit of time for people to fill it in if you want to try to play. And after the round, we'll go over how the flow of the match went, because you can do like replays in this game, and see if there's anything I can point out with that. But like I said, I probably should have what I probably should have done before I did this whole Mahjong gaming thing with chat is, just play some solo matches. Didn't actually download anything. I thought I just watched the flow. You could also, you don't have to download anything. It's actually also available on browser. it's available on mobile and on browser, so you can also do both. That's why the link exists. The link is for the browser. The room code is, if you want to type that in manually, is for mobile if you have that. But yeah, we'll just give it a little sec. If no one comes in, then I'll play another set of rounds. But basically, let's see, where do we start? I think I did a whole lesson once before on like the basics of Mahjong, but it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you actually play it. And you don't, what do you call this? You don't really learn it unless you get, unless you actually go through the motions yourself. It's not a difficult game to learn, but it's a difficult game to explain. Because here's the thing, right? If you know poker, you can play Mahjong with some decent with a decent sense on what you can do and can't do. But if what gets me though is there are some people who have never played poker before, and that's, to me, what, really? I mean, not everyone has played poker before, but I still get surprised by people who have never played poker before, that kind of thing. I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those games are like very basic. People have played Old Maid, I guess. Old Maid, checkers, just those games that you, or maybe you don't. Maybe you actually don't. I feel like that's more of a pre-2000 thing where people actually played card games and such. I don't know if people these days play so much card games and stuff that is not Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! I blame on neglecting my Japanese numbers and honor symbols. The whole, well, the number thing, the numbers thing. What do you call this? You can set it to like there's an option for actually doing the Roman numerals or the kanji for the numbers. You can do both if you want to. I'm just used to seeing it without the actual Roman numerals because that's how I learned it. If at the very least, if I see numbers with the Chinese characters or kanji, I can read that. I can read that much because it's really easy. It's super easy to like figure out once you have learned it. Otherwise it's not. I mean, it's not too difficult, I guess. It's not too difficult. But yeah, I think, yeah, like I said, the Yaku is probably the hardest thing. A lot of people will probably go for no end tiles, which is like the no ones, no nines, no wind tiles, no dragon tiles, which are the colored tiles. Probably the easiest thing to do. That's the easiest thing to do. Or you get 3 of a kind of everything. That's also another easy way to just get used to the game. You can also get a 2 of a kind of everything, which is like, well, you can get pairs of everything. That's also a valid hand. Those are 3 very easy things you can do. And then you can kind of get things that are a little bit more complicated, or maybe not. Doing single suits is another easy one, but it's a little bit difficult to complete. If you find yourself having to, what do you call this? A hard time completing a hand, then the best thing to do is figure out what everyone else is discarding, and you can either discard the same thing as they're discarding, so you don't accidentally lose, or you don't lose into anyone else. That's very defensive, but you're probably not going to win any hands that way. You might be able to complete some hands that way. It can happen. It can happen. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and play another round. I think this will just be a teaching match for today. So let's see, another 4 east. We're gonna unpin that. All right, so let's see if I can try to explain how this is going. Okay, good starting hand. We have a pair of whites. If we can get a third white, that's a Yaku. We can do pretty much anything with this hand. Let's see, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the bamboo. Completing with bamboo sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these wind tiles that I don't need. This one I think is pure memorization, or you just change these settings here. You just change the settings here for, what do you call this? Well, I'm gonna, for the sake of chat, I am going to change the tile set to have numbers on them and letters so you can easily figure out what the heck is going on. So I should probably do that. So this is the west tile. It looks like a little box with a hat. South tile is this weird looking house thing. Just try to remember that. And I've seen way too many Toho titles, so I already know what East looks like. That character shows up in all the Toho games, so. But that's just me. That's just me. But for anyone who's not used to these just doing characters, definitely turn on the setting for having numbers and letters on them to make it a little bit easier to learn. But let's see. So my goal right now is to try to see if I can gather more of these bamboo tiles over here. Reichi already? Okay, time to play defensive. Or at least as defensive as I can get. Okay, so I have... Ooh, should I do it? I'm gonna get rid of the green. Chances of this person needing a green for a pair to win is kind of low because there's already 2 out here. Do I call for the Reichi? That's a good question. I'm gonna hold off the Reichi. Hopefully they don't need this. Good, it passes. So basically right now, for the person that just Reichi, they threw this stick out, right? And you can also see that this tile is oriented a different way than all the other discards. That means they threw a Reichi. You basically have to have at least 1,000 points to do that. You ante that up. And when you're in Reichi, you cannot change up your hand at all. You basically lock your hand. And tell everyone else that I am sticking with this. I am letting you know I only need 1 tile left to win. And all you can do is pick up and discard or win off someone else's hand. Someone else's discard. So yeah. So these wind tiles, the wind tiles over here, you see there's N, W, S, E, so that's northeast, southwest. It doesn't correspond to the compass, so don't try. Don't try. East will always be the dealer, and then it goes counterclockwise. So east, the draw order is going to be east, south, west, north. If whenever dealer wins a hand for that round, they keep their dealer position until they don't win a hand, basically. That's how it works. And the thing with a dealer is, if you win as dealer, you get like 50% more points. I think it's 50%. Than you normally would. So let's say a hand is worth 5,000. Let's say a hand is worth 5,000, and they win with that hand. That will bump that up to 7,500. I think in practice that's not how that number doesn't exist, but let's just say it does. Let's just say it does. Now, if someone wins off the dealer, the same applies. I think the same applies. I think it's either double. No, it's double. It's double if you win off the dealer, and double if the dealer wins off someone else. I think. I'm getting confused. Either way, the dealer position is really strong, and you're basically a glass cannon at the same time. We'll explain in RPG terms because that's probably the easiest way to explain it. Okay, there's a few easy points you can get. Let the computer do the thinking for you. Yes, but you should also try to learn this at the same time. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah. So a few easy things you can do at the start of the game if you're especially new or just trying to get a hand so that you can get the dealer position to you, if that's one strategy, is try to collect these color tiles, the white, the red over here, and there's no green out, but green tiles will also be something you want to collect. And the wind tiles. So the wind tiles I've already mentioned, east, south, west, north. You try to either get the round wind, which is this east over here. If you have 3 of the east tiles, that is a Yaku for you. If you have 3 of your seat tile, which is for me right now is west, that is also a Yaku. No harm if you don't get either, but it does help. It does help get towards the win. Let's see. I think we can get rid of this. Now, if you're east and you have the east, if you have a triplet of east, then that's both the round wind here and the seat wind. You get double points for that. But you must have at least a 3 of a kind for the winds or the colors dragons to be able to get that point. Otherwise, if it's just a pair, you can't really get a point off that, but you can still use a part of your hand if you need it. If you need it. Hey Krista, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? But yeah, so those are some easy points. Like I said, the other easy thing you can do is try to stick to one suit. That's probably like one of the easier things to do. Or get 3 of a kinds with whatever else you have. Or get rid of all your honors and 1s and 9s and try to win off that way. What I really didn't cover too much is the concept of closed tiles and open tiles. Are you serious? Okay, it was cheap at least. Wait, my morning ain't good, but how are you? I hope your day gets better at least. I am doing okay. I'm trying to do a Mahjong training arc / teaching arc. I don't know how to explain it. It's a little difficult, but we'll try to get there. So here in my hand I have a south tile. And I'm also south wind. If I can get 3 of these, that's gonna be a Yaku for me. We do have quite a bit of character tiles here and some pin tiles here, which is the round circle things. You can call them circle, you can call them wind. I call them pin, just because that's what Japanese call them. But circles, if you want. A few bamboos. Probably the bamboos aren't really my friend here, so I'm going to get rid of them. And let's see, I'm trying to look at my hand right now. I don't think I can do much with the pin tiles. And I'm drawing a lot of bamboo for whatever reason, which makes me sad because I have to toss them out and I could probably use them. Supplementary. There is a lot of Mon tiles, true. So maybe I can do something with this. Are you serious? Early Riichi is always scary because you never know what they have. Everyone is gonna have to take a risk on that one. Good luck with that, I gotta go. Okay, see you later, Krista. Let's see. I guess I can get rid of the south. We can probably get rid of the pins also. I don't think they need any of that. It's gonna look very obvious I'm hoarding Mon tiles at this point. Ooh, if I can get one more south, that'd be great. There's only one south discarded. Are you serious? Yeah, that would have been very dangerous, but I would have also discarded that if I had the chance. Ooh! Are you... Wait, are you east? No. Oh, they are east. No wonder it costs so much. I do think it's 50% though. I think that was like 12,000 normally, and they got 18 from that. Let's get rid of the north. Now, if you really wanted to and were really ballsy, you could try collecting all the wind tiles for some really big points. But the thing is, it's really not recommended to do that unless you have a lot of them to begin with. And then you kind of like go YOLO. Okay, let's see if we can get this. This hand does not look very good. We're gonna have to see what we draw in the next few rounds. See what we can do. South is already discarded, so I'm gonna go and discard my south. I don't have any confidence I will get more of that. 7 has been discarded. 6 also came through, so I'm gonna get rid of this one bamboo. We may not need that. I could go for a Tanya. That'd be like the easiest thing to do at this point. I don't know. I feel like Tanya would be the easiest thing to do. No. I don't want to get rid of this east because that would be really easy for me to get a Yaku. But we're also near the end of this first row, which is usually my cutoff point for discarding honor tiles. Because either people are hoarding honor tiles at this point, or... And I need to get rid of them quickly so that so that no one tries to win them off later? That's my reasoning, typically. I don't know if that's sound advice or not, but that's usually how I think about that. You have the opportunity to cheat often, but don't take it. Yeah, so cheese, which is like, which is basically a sequence, don't do it. Unless you know what you're doing. Cheese are dangerous. Cheese usually lock up your hand from winning. Yes, I said the point of the game is not to lose, but also you want to try to win at the same time. So basically, let's say I have a 6 and a 7 here, right? To get a chi, someone on my left side, I can only take it from the person on my left side. It's a weird little bit of rule, but it's there. So to make a chi, if they drop a 5 mon or a 8 mon, I have the option on taking their tile to make a 5, 6, 7 or a 6, 7, 8, which would reveal that part of my hand, and I would toss it over here. Now you really don't want to do that because a lot of times you can't win a hand if you have an open. You can't win a hand with a chi if you have an open hand. As soon as you reveal part of your hand that is called an open hand, and that really limits your options as far as winning. That's just kind of how it works. That's kind of how it works. These have been some really, really tough hands to try to deal with. Let's get rid of... There's nothing good to get rid of. I'm going to try to see if I can get either of these. Gonna get rid of this. This 1 and 2 look really good to get rid of. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the east. I think I'm gonna try to go for Toy at the very least. So we have 3, 6, 6, and then everything is up to fate at this point because this hand is crap. Absolute crap. 7 discarded. I'm gonna go ahead. Excuse me. 7 was discarded. I'm gonna go ahead and discard my 7 too, just to thin that possibility of it coming back. Well, at least, you know, no one wants it. I don't want it. if I kept this 7, we would also have another 7. I don't think this hand's gonna go anywhere. My only hope is this guy to the right of me is gonna lose points, so I don't have to be 4th. So having pawns or cheese wouldn't make you lose less points. Depending on the hand, it could lower the value of your hand, yes. So if you have a hand of all pawns, and none of them are like other Yakus that could, let's say you don't have any dragon tiles that you could use as a Yaku, or a wind tiles you could use as a Yaku. Typically, if your hand is all pawns, at base that's 2 Yaku. Open or close, that's 2 Yaku. For the Chi though, Chis only work, not only work, but Chis typically only work if your hand is closed, because there's like weird rules to that. So like here I have a 4, 5, 6. I don't really want to open that unless I can get rid of this this 1 pin, because the 1 pin is a end tile, right? And now I don't have any end tiles or honor tiles. So now I can open this up if I wanted to, like, you know, try to get complete my hand quicker. But if I do that, it's really cheap, because Tanya, which is like all simples, or just tiles from 2 through 8, is really cheap. It's only worth 1 Yaku. But if you just need to get a round over with, in my case, just win really quickly because I'm East, and advance into the next round while keeping my seat, then I could do that. It's just really... Yeah, so typically when I'm East, I would probably go for a cheap, quick hand to like build my momentum up, I guess. And try to keep my seat and try to keep winning, because the longer you are East, the more points you can rack up quickly. But also these guys are really, really tough. I haven't been really paying attention to the discards very well. So we got a chance. It's a very slim chance. It's not a very good chance, but it's there. It's there. If I can get either a pawn of these, the 6 bamboo or 6 pin, then that would open me up to be able to win. But we're not quite there yet. Not quite there. And we're already here at the end of the game. There's only 4 tiles left. So yeah, maybe I should have discarded this 6, kept this 7. No, I do believe the person to my left is hoarding the bamboos. Or maybe even the one to the right. But this person on my left has no reason to try to win because they're already ahead. So if you're not in first or second place, which are the places you can get points to advance ranks. What do you call this? I'm gonna go again. Which are the places you can get points to advance ranks. Then you really have no reason to try to win. You just want to hold on to your position. You can fold hands as much as you want, and you're good. But if you're third and fourth, I guess you have a better incentive to try to win and claw out your way from the bottom, basically. There'll just be some bad luck days. It happens. I think even in professional Mahjong games, like 30% win rate is pretty good. It's kind of like baseball. Apparently, if you have a batting rate of like 0.2 or 0.3, which is like 20 to 30% hit rate. That's already pretty good. Be crazy to have anything over 50%, wouldn't it? I don't know. I don't watch baseball, but that's my impression. And we are stuck again at 44%. Someone is probably not connecting. And it's probably me. I don't know why. But yeah. It's just a nice chill game to play. If you just want to... Mahjong can actually be a pretty brain-dead game. It's a pretty brain-dead game, but at the same time, if you want to advance, I guess you have to pay attention a little bit. At the bare minimum, try to figure out what people are discarding and avoid things that they haven't discarded, so you don't play into anyone else's hand. That's the bare minimum. Unless you have no choice. And if you have no choice, it's like, okay, we either try to win, we take a risk and discard something that people may not want, or we discard and hope for the best. It's basically hoping for the best all the time. All the time, it's always hoping for the best. Why are we stuck? Am I the only one that's not connecting? This usually doesn't happen, which is weird. I'm going to bet the game is already underway. I'm just not connecting for some reason. Hold on. I'm going to restart the game. I'm going to restart the game, but I need to close the screen. Where is the screen? This one. Okay, I'm going to restart. Okay. Lesson number 1, don't drink tea an hour before stream, because holy crap, you cough like crazy. But for some reason, udon is okay. For some reason, udon's okay. I'm gonna bet the game is underway. Sorting out the table, but we're now stuck at 27% instead of 44%. I knew it! I was the one who wasn't connecting. Okay, at least I wasn't losing. No one won off me during my AFK moment. Could I have done anything with his hand? I don't know. We don't worry about past hands. We only worry about future hands. So nice work, AI. The AI, literally, all the AI does is pick up tiles and drops it. That's it. That's all the AI does. So that is pure luck. Pure luck that we didn't lose that. However, I did lose my east seat. Apparently, I started off as dealer, so I don't have dealer anymore. So there's no way for me to prolong this game. My only options now is to try to win and not lose. As always, try to win and not lose. And for me, losing is getting to 4th place, which has been the trend for today. Hold up, we don't want this. That has been the trend for today. It's been quite a while since I won, apparently. So we lost 1, 2, 3, 4 times. If you get 3rd place, that's okay. It's not too big of a loss. It's not great either, but it's not too big. Let's get rid of this. I don't think I need that. I'm gonna regret that. I'm probably gonna regret this because... Nope. That's stupid on your part. Why would you do that? There's no reason to do that unless you want to get an extra tile from the dead ball. No. Okay, I guess we can get rid of the whites. That's no good to us anymore. The best I can probably do is get all pawns or pairs of everything. Both of which is really tough right now. You said you haven't played, so I say you're in the clear. I mean, it's been... When was the last time? I feel like it's been over 6 months. It's been over 6 months since my last game. And usually when I do the Mahjong streams, I play with friends. And we basically just do like a podcast style of playing Mahjong with each other. And we usually have like 1 or 2 spaces open for chat to come in, which is what we used to do before. It was I think it was a really nice format. We would just talk about random stuff. If chat wanted to play with us, we would have an open room in between matches, open seat in between matches. So they have called Richie, and I'm now in full defensive mode. If I can get 6, and well, this is the oh crap! Did I not grab this? I guess that's okay. There's still one more green. There's still one more green dragon out there somewhere. I just hope it drops. I don't see any reason for why anyone would want to hoard that. But then again, people are weird. This is dangerous right here. This 5 pin is dangerous because I don't see pins coming from this person except for the 2. Bamboo should be okay to toss. This person doesn't seem to want any bamboos. What just dropped? Oh, I said that! And they were actually waiting for bamboo. Okay. Dora. Holy crap, that's a lot of Dora. 8,000 Mangan. Not too bad. So Yaku's, anything below 4 Yaku, I cannot, anything below 5 Yaku, I cannot calculate. But 5 Yaku and above are easy to calculate. 5 is 8,000. 6 is 12,000. Wait, is it 6? Is it 6,000? 12,000? 12, I think it goes like 8, 12, 16, 20, and then we may be at Yakuman at that point, and then you go 32. It's weird. The calculation is weird. There's a specific calculation for it, and I used to remember everything above 5 Yaku and above. But it is weird. And then there's like this weird calculation before 5 Yaku that I could never get my head around. So it's like, okay, let's just not focus about that. Reina might be interested if you've played in FF14. The thing is, I don't play FF14. I feel like if I play FF14, my life will be over. You know what I mean? A lot of people say FF14 is the MMO retirement home. You play FF14 and your life is over, basically. Also, I don't know, I just don't feel like paying a sub when I'm not gonna play it every day. It feels like a waste to me. I know it's like less than $1 each day, but that's like still a subscription. I don't like subscriptions for the most part unless, you know, it's utilities. I don't consider FF14 a utility in my case. If I'm playing FF14, I'm grinding every day. Grinding or crafting every day. I guess crafting is a sort of grind. I don't know. I used to play MMOs quite a bit. I used to play MMOs quite a bit. It was like my initial game type. And what do you call this? It was my initial game type until I just didn't have time for it, and I swore off MMOs after that. Didn't even know there was a subscription fee. Yes, there is. There is a subscription fee for, what do you call this? FF14, and you also have to pay for the expansions. It's how they keep the quality up so high. Any free MMOs out there you probably have seen is not as good at quality. Sumo. It's probably cheap. Yeah, it's just 2,000. I guess we got a Dora and we have the Red Dragon. It's good enough for now, but it's not great. I don't think the subscription fee is that expensive. I just don't like the idea of paying a subscription if I'm not going to be using it regularly. It's the reason why I don't like do streaming services like Netflix, and also I guess that is a West towel. I don't think I really want the West towel. I can't use it here. I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's the reason why I don't have, like, let's say Amazon Prime or Netflix and stuff like that. Just because I know I'm not gonna use it every day. And I feel like I have to use it every day, or at least half the time, to be able to justify it. FF14, the critically acclaimed MMORPG with an expanded trial, which you can play through the entirety of Realm Reborn, and an award-winning expansion up to level 60 with no restrictions on playtime. Yes, that one. Now, technically, it is free up to level 60, up to Heaven's Ward also, for FF14, but after that, you gotta pay. There's a reason why they say it's free up to that point, because you gotta pay. And it is many, 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 many hours of content to get to where FF14 is right now. I don't know exactly how many hours. I heard anywhere from 100 to 1,000. I'm the type of person in MMO to just kind of do their own thing. Also, queuing as a DPS is pain, apparently. I did play FF14 a while back. Maybe like one of the earlier patches. I forgot how long ago that was, though. I tried it. It was okay. I didn't really jive with it, so I didn't stay. And apparently there is a huge, what do you call this? A huge focus? Maybe not a huge focus, but a huge incentive to learn all the classes, because there's some sort of bonus for doing that. Or maybe it's just playstyle, I don't know. And all I really wanted to do was punch things. I wanted to be a monk. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to punch things. That is my main class in MMOs. I punch things. But if I have to be like a dragoon or something else before I can punch things, that's no bueno for me. I did like crafting though. Crafting seemed pretty interesting, but I'm not good with the stock market and stuff like that. I say stock market, but the thing is, it's the whole market situation in FF14 is ridiculous. If you've seen videos of people buying stuff up in FF14 and reselling for a profit and not actually playing, you know, the other part of the game that seems more exciting, the fighting, the raiding, and all that stuff. There are people that just do that. There are people that just do that. And you know, good on them. That's not why I play MMOs though. But you know, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? You can play an MMO however you want. That's just not my playstyle. What do we have here? Okay, I need to get rid of the green. Someone is hoarding 2 other greens and I don't really need this. My goal right now is to try to get something here. Sumo. Really? Ooh, that hurts. Who is the unlucky? East right now. Oh, you're East. Never mind. I'm unlucky. You're also in 4th place. That did not help you. Hey, second! I'll take that today. Could you imagine the self-prioritizing role ends up being the most queued one? You mean the DPS? I mean, a lot of people play DPS because DPS is fun, right? DPS is fun. But... oh, get first or second in Silver Room. Oh, quest clear. Apparently there's dailies in Mahjong Soul. I have a lot of these coins. I don't even know what the coins are used for, but I have a lot of them. This little sapphire ring thing... oh, it's jade. This little jade ring thing is like the main currency for rolling. And really, the only reason why you want to roll is to be able to get a skin. This cost me about $100. And this is my only skin. But I wanted a skin because I was playing Mahjong regularly on stream, so it's like I probably should actually have a skin. So I did it, and this cost me $100. So otherwise, I would be playing with her. Be wary of anyone who uses the default cat girl, because they are usually cracked. And apparently, I'm not cracked. I took a debuff when I got a new skin. It is a nice skin. It is. I was aiming for someone else though, but that's the thing with gacha. You're aiming for someone, and that's not usually a good thing. I don't think I was doing the guy's side. So there's two gachas, one for guy skins, which is not that many, but I don't think I identify with most of these people except for maybe this guy over here, and probably this guy over here. Those would be my two picks if I were able to pick them. This guy I don't identify with. He kind of looks like Taka from Niji ID. Nothing against Taka. I just don't identify with it. But as usual, because girls sell, there are a lot of girls here. Many girls. Twice as many girls. And I think I got her when she was new and she had a rate up. But even with a rate up, it took me $100 to do so. I don't know how many rolls that was, but it was a lot. It was a lot. I possibly would have preferred someone else though, because her emotes are not that great. Her emotes are not that great. Can I see your emotes from here? I cannot see your emotes from here, I don't think so. Oh, I can see your emotes. So there are some emotes that are locked based on how often you use them and how many gifts you give them. I'm just gonna give you what I can. But you also have to like give them certain items to level up, I guess, for a different default skin. There we go. Should increase the volume. She's also basically a rage gamer. She is a rage gamer, as I found out from her emotes down here. Look at this. This is all rage game. These are all rage gaming emotes. I think she's also a streamer. I'm not exactly sure. Why is this locked behind a bond? What is this? But there's four emotes I can't use. She's a rage gamer. Apparently you need certain items to be able to unlock the bond skin. I don't know exactly what that's gonna look like. We identify with that? I don't. I'm not a rage gamer. Have you seen me ever rage? I don't. Yeah, so apparently there's items also for that. But normally I would actually use this girl. This is like one of the two default ones, and the emotes are great. These are the emotes you use to taunt people. These are the emotes you use to taunt people. The shaky, nervous emotes also really great. All these emotes are great. You know what? I may use her for this next one, just because. But I think I used her enough already. I used her enough for what I needed to. But I'm gonna strike fear in people and use the default character, because these are actually menacing emotes. I like these emotes. They're pretty good emotes. I've never used this one. I've never used her. But it's like, okay. A little yandere, a little sexy, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. She's better. I like her better. Okay, another match, I guess. Let's do another match. So the difference between East and South, if anyone is wondering, South is like a normal game. Basically, you have an East round and a South round. That's a normal game. What we've been doing is East round only. What that means is everyone gets a chance of being East once. And then let's see, for South, the round win changes from East to South, and everyone gets to be East another time. That is a much longer game, so most people don't really like that, but that's the official length for official matches. But you can also play just East, and that's much quicker. There's also 3-player Mahjong, which is even quicker than 4-player East, but it also has slightly different rules, so it's a little funky, but it's quick, and the point system is very whack. There's Silver. Will they know fear? Probably. I am convinced though that Ichihime, the one we're using, it has a passive buff of torturing everyone who sees her. Also a passive buff to tiles, maybe. Look at this hand. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I feel like there's a secret buff. I don't know. Now, for all practical purposes, and not to spread misinformation, the skins have no abilities. They're just skins. But, big but, there is a superstition. There is a superstition that the cat girl has certain powers. Let's just say. And sometimes hard to dispute it. You know what I mean? We can probably go for Toy Toy. I am tempted to try to see if I can get these. No, we don't. Gosh darn, I could have had the Toy Toy sooner! You see this? That is pain. Could have gotten a Toy Toy sooner. Oh well. That's just how the game goes. Yo, it's our cat girl supremacy. Possibly. Okay. So either I go for all pawns or I go for Toy Toy. What's gonna happen first? What is gonna happen first? I may start calling pawn if it comes up again. I wasn't calling pawn on some tiles earlier. This pains me. This pains me. I discarded 3 pairs. I could have won by now if I just... Oh my gosh, I could have won by now. Why? This always happens. This always happens. Okay, we can probably get rid of this. But it would be funny if I didn't. It would be funny if I didn't and win off it. That would be such a troll move. If I get 4th again, I'm gonna take 3 shots for all the other losses I've done up to now. And I'm gonna be drinking the oak sake, because that's actually a proper batsu compared to all the other ones that actually taste good. The oak sake is actually terrible. I do not like it. Let's get rid of this. Now, for anyone anyone watching from the player's side, they're going to be asking, why are you discarded? Why did you claim that south? You don't even need it. Or do I? This is a sus move. This is a sus move to do. No more Pilk Batsus? Pilk is not a Batsu. Pilk is not a Batsu. I would happily drink Pilk. I just don't carry Coke. I don't carry Coke or Pepsi regularly. I just don't stock it. But Pilk is good. In small doses, but Pilk is good. Let's grab that. I think the only time I actually did that as a Batsu was when I first, like during another Mahjong match. But it wasn't really a Batsu though, because I liked it. After trying it, I liked it. Ooh, that sumo hurts. At least it's not a direct hit. I will take an AoE any day compared to a direct hit. Look at this. There has to be a passive buff. There was definitely a passive buff here. Also, I'm going to change the stream title because it's basically a training arc at this point. Training arc. Let's get rid of this. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Training arc number 1. Let's get rid of this because we don't need it. Oh, did she try Pilk? I knew she was she wanted to give it a shot, but I wasn't sure if she actually tried it yet. I know a lot of people were saying don't do it, but I'm almost certain those people have not tried it and just don't like the idea of mixing Coke or Pepsi and milk together. But as I've always said with the whole Pilk thing, it's just basically melted ice cream float. And if you've had an ice cream float before, you know they're good. But if you haven't had an ice cream float before, you think it's weird. Though I do think ice cream floats by themselves are a weird concept to begin with. But people in the 50s, you know, they did weird stuff apparently. Okay, this is, I don't know if there's a good chance to win, because someone's hoarding these tiles, and it hasn't shown up yet. But it's something. She did it for New Year's, but I wasn't there. Oh, I gotta ask her what that was like then. She never, I don't think I heard her mention it, but I'm gonna ask her. Because I want to know. Was that New Year's though? I guess it was mentioned before New Year's. Just never actually knew when she was going to do it. Yeah, so we're waiting for this tile right now. Which you can see we have a 2, 4, 4, 6, 7. We have a sequence of 4, 5, 6, but we don't have whatever is in the middle here. So we're missing that. And someone is hoarding it. It's already mid-game and so she's hoarding it. She mentioned on Twitter, but that's all I know. I did not see that then. Twitter is weird sometimes. I don't see half of the messages that I have notifications for. It's frustrating. I'm gonna guess that's mostly an API thing, where it kind of limits on what you can see, because you know the pipeline gets clogged up and whatnot. It is being hoarded. If I have to guess who is hoarding it, if you look at the discards here, it's probably the person to my left. The person on my left is hoarding it. Because they don't want, it doesn't seem like they want any characters, they don't want any mons, they don't want any pins, but they want everything else. Now, there's a chance that the person in front of me or the right of me is hoarding it also, but it's a slim chance. It's a much smaller chance. They don't want the two. Who's hoarding it? I mean, at this point, they just don't want to lose to me. Especially this one on the right, because they're ahead. Who's got it? We will never know, but it's one of these two. It's one of these two. And the buff is gone. Nope. Actually, can we do something with this? I think so. We got this. We got this end piece, this end piece, this end piece, and those. We can do something with this. It's gonna be a little bit tougher though. The best thing is if I can get west. You see what I did just there? I already tossed the pair out. That feels bad, man. Feels bad. I'm surprised they didn't show the final hands after the round ends. They only show the final hands after the round ends if they're in Tenpai. If they're not in Tenpai, they don't show the hands. That's how it works. No ten, no hand. Tenpai, show hand. But that's only at the end of the round. So those two on my sides were probably most likely trying to avoid dealing into me. They may have had an inkling of what I have, but I don't know if they actually did. It's also really too early to figure out what the heck is going on here. But maybe we show some disinterest in some tiles. Could have kept the 2 so I can go 1, 2, 3, but I don't know. How am I supposed to direct my anger without target? You direct it at everyone. You can't be angry at one person, that's not healthy. But you can be angry at everyone. That way, I mean, we show no favorites here, okay? We show no favorites when we're angry at someone. We be angry at everyone equally. I think that's just fair. It's why I probably seem calm and collected most of the time, and you know, it's because I really don't dislike anyone. But if I have to dislike anyone, I dislike everyone equally. No favorites. That's a joke though. I really don't dislike anyone in particular. There are some people I do find annoying, but I just don't interact with those people. For the most part. That's enough. That's pretty much all there is to it. Someone is... Okay, so we don't want the greens anymore. There's already 2 out. Why is the game lagging? Why is the game lagging? Okay, so I think the 1 can be kicked out. I'm still waiting on my west. We can probably get a west. The east over here is... someone's holding on to it, or it just hasn't shown up yet. I find the not showing up part hard to believe, though. Ricci? Okay, so I have to do a Ricci to babe. Furi 10. So the concept... Okay, Furi 10 is... You cannot win off this for reasons. There is no Yaku. You also discarded the tiles that you need. What else is there? Why is this 4010? Oh, is it because I needed... Is it because I needed this? I probably needed the 2, and that locked me out of winning? Okay. Really? Just for 1,000? Not like my hand was big, but really? Okay, we need to get a second place at least. South. The east is shiny. Chances are everyone else also has an east on their hand. So that's not great. Oh, now you come out west. Well, we got also west near the end of the previous round, but that was too late. But now you come out. When I don't need you. You're also not my wind tile, so why am I keeping you? So I'm gonna try my hardest to like either get 3 of a kinds and also keep honor and end tiles, because that's a pretty good hand if I do get it, but it's kind of far. It's a little far. So we'll... Seriously? I think that emote describes all my feelings right now. Maybe we can play favorites with hate today. Just for that one action, we can play some favorites. Also, my hand is feeling murderous. I think I should follow through with what my hand is saying. Hey hand, do you think we should keep the dragon tiles? No? Okay, let's get rid of the dragon tiles. We didn't need that west anyway. Okay, so what are we gonna do here, hand? How are we gonna kill this person on my left without mercy? I don't think I need this 3, but I have a feeling it's gonna come back. Because it always does. Let's get rid of this 8. We don't need that. I'm gonna be probably going for pawns here. Yep, had a feeling that was gonna come up. So we need to focus on this side here, or maybe get rid of one of these. We might have to go for a toy. 7 pairs. You sure you want to do that? Okay, this person's just trying to win a hand quickly. What makes it really hard to figure out how to counter it. Someone else has to pawn to be able to break their rhythm. Chi though. So they got a Tanyao. If they got a Tanyao, they're not gonna want this. Let's get rid of this one. Pawn. We're gonna start attacking right now. So I'm really hoping for the whites to come, because we're gonna need that if we're going to win. Otherwise we're gonna be stuck, and that's not good. But it's here. Ready. Ready for the third one. There's one out already, so if anyone else gets a white, they might want to get rid of it. Hopefully. Maybe. It is mid-game, though it could also be stuck here in the dead wall. That's always a possibility. What if my 3s were stuck in the dead wall? What are the chances of that? You don't need it? Probably don't need this one either. Pawn! Okay, now we're dangerous. Are you serious? It's not a big hand. It's not a big hand. But they're taunting me. They are taunting me. You see how much better the emotes of the cat girl is from all of that. I had a good hand going. I had a good hand going. If I got them, it would have hurt. But I didn't have to get them. No. I didn't have to get them. Yeah, this is gonna be a cheap hand. It's 2 Yaku at best. It's 2 Yaku at best at this point. But I don't care. Well, maybe 3 Yaku at best if someone tosses out a red 5. I just want this to end. I really just want this to end. What are the oh, no one is tossing pins out. I mean, my hand is not that diverse, to be honest. I have like 2 weights. The issue right now is what does everyone else have? What does everyone else not want? No one wants bamboos, apparently. Or at least the majority of them don't want bamboos. The only one who's tossing pins out is the person to my left and ahead of me. We got some fancy music. Sumo? Okay, I'll take a sumo. You can't do much against sumos anyway. And I'm still 4th, apparently. Yeah. My cat girl buff. My cat girl buff. It's really hard to get past Adept. At the very least, I keep playing as a cat girl too. What is going on here? Oh, apparently there's some achievements? Yeah, we're gonna ignore achievements. Okay, I'm probably gonna do at least 1 more game, because I probably should sleep soon because the stream I have planned for tomorrow is gonna be pretty early for me. So, we'll see. I may have to, what do you call this? I may have to, what do you call this? Adjust my schedule for the rest of the month, because it feels like I did a little bit too much this first week. So we'll see. Back to bronze rooms and beat some new players instead? No. How are we gonna learn? Now, we don't bully the weak here. We bully the person that's going to piss us off, basically. Like and retweet. Really? Oh. And apparently we're stuck again. Crap. Okay. I don't know why this keeps getting stuck. But apparently I keep on getting stuck. Okay, so waiting on game. Just want to make sure that my login stuff doesn't show up. It auto logs in, but sometimes it shows it. Loading, loading, loading. I wonder if it's just the emulator I'm using. Loading, loading. We just got bullied though. Gotta pass on the GIF. Yeah. I think there's an issue with the game I'm using, or at least the emulator I'm using. It usually works, but it's like it just hangs for some reason. Okay, there we go. Logging in, and we're back. And probably 2 rows have already been gone. I just hope I don't... No, we just barely started. Good. And to a pretty decent hand. I will take that. Let's go. The only sucky thing about coming back from a DC is that you lose your time, especially and when you need to think. You need to and when you need to think, you need that extra time. Let's see, nope, I'm gonna pass on that for now. It's tempting because I do have the setup for it. But maybe once the first... Nope, we'll take it now. Ah, crap. I hate the auto discard. Because I wanted to get rid of something else. But we do have the conditions now to be able to at least win with 1 Yaku, advance around really quick. I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, you're just trying to complete a hand regardless of the hand value. Because, you know, RNG is RNG. There's definitely RNG, but there's also things you can do. Ooh. That's gonna be a tight win, but I think we could do it. I'm gonna try to get all 3 of a kinds though, to boost my score up a bit. But at the same time, I don't want this person to win, but good thing, the person on my left dealt some damage. Good. Good. As long as it's not me. That's what I'm saying, as long as it's not me who took the damage. Okay, 5, 6, 7. We can probably get rid of these. We can probably get rid of the ends, but this is also... Maybe we try to get some end tiles here. I don't know. Questionable. Okay, good, questionable. Let's get rid of that. This hand is all over the place, so I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. Or what can I do with it? Thing is, after the first row of discards, it feels a little too late to do anything, to be honest. Or at least I feel like it's usually too late. There's usually some hope by mid-game. But it's a little iffy. It's super iffy. Yeah, I think this is a dead hand. I'm just gonna do my best not to play into anyone else's hand. It just do be like that sometimes. Yep. Oh, jeez, I discarded that too. If I get a second one, that'd be great. There's still time to recover. But chances are it's probably not gonna happen. But I'm gonna keep this in case someone else, in case I get a second one. I don't think I want the bamboos though. We can get rid of the bamboos. Or these pin tiles. Probably a bad idea to keep them anyway. Because we can't use them. Just can't use them. Or I could save them for later in the round, in case someone looks like they're close to winning, so that I have something safe to toss out. That's also another thing I could have done. So many options. But I'm also trying to advance my hand at the same time. Tempting, but that's not what I want. I could get rid of all 4 of these. That should be okay. Or we keep that. We can't do anything with his hand. Okay, we can get rid of this now. Can get rid of the red dragon. We don't need that anymore. Now this person over here across from me is probably like slapping their face like, oh geez, I could have used that. That's how it always feels though. It's just like that. I could have probably kept these 2, and then when this came, like both of these red tiles, hindsight is 2020. The game basically. Sometimes I like to troll with a little scared face. Just for kicks and giggles. Okay, trying to get to Tenpai at this part. Can't really do much of anything here though. I think we'll get a no 10. We'll get a no 10. No 10, yeah. Yeah, there was no saving that hand, I feel like. Even if I got that red, I don't think I could have done anything with it. Everything else was just kind of broken up way too much. Let's see. We got all souths when we don't need souths. We need some west. If we could use west. I think the best I can do maybe is try to make like some end tiles here work. Like we can get the what the heck is going on here? Mahjong do be weird sometimes. I've also seen some people like not come up, but pull off some miracles with their hands. It's like, how the heck did that even work? It's ridiculous. I don't know if that's foresight or just the willingness to let go. Because there's a thing that some players do. They just kind of like discard whatever, or seemingly whatever. And it seems like they have a willingness to let go of tiles that may seem useful, but I don't know if that's just a sixth sense of Mahjong or they're just hoping for the best. It's really hard to figure out. It's like if I ever get to Master or Saint, which is like the highest levels of Mahjong in this game, I may have my third Mahjong eye opened up and I'll be able to actually answer that. But right now I'm like confused. Maybe I should do a training arc. Maybe we just have a training arc on Saturday nights, because I do want to get back into this, and you know the best way to do it is just do a training arc, and then, you know, like I said, once you do enough training arcs, then maybe you can actually do some hosting. That's probably it. Did I get 4th last time? I did get 4th last time, right? Where's that sake? At least it's cold. That's the only saving grace. This thing is cold. I guess let's get rid of this. I don't think anyone needs this. It's not showing up anyway. I wanted to keep that green, but it's too late. I think it's too... the oak is way too strong. I don't really like it. Probably get rid of the 6. I want to try to keep this because I might be able to get like another 5 or a 6, and then we can use the Dora from this. It's a long shot at this point though. You'll never find Ian Mahjong stream, so you'll have your own niche. I mean, they do exist. They exist more on Twitch than they do on YouTube. On YouTube, the most of the people that play Mahjong are Japanese and Chinese, or just Asia in general, but mostly Japanese and Chinese. The thing is, I don't know if I'm in the correct time slot for that, because right now it is almost 1 p.m. Japan time, and I don't have a Japanese title on my stream, which I probably, if I want to get some Japanese audiences, I'm going to have to put a Japanese title on my stream to be able to do that. I'll go ahead and call my Richie for intimidation points. Yeah. It's like, why are you call this person to my left? It's like, why are you calling Richie now? It's like near the end of the game. I have no idea how to play Mahjong. I'm gonna try to follow the action. I will try to explain as best as I can. The thing is like I said, it's difficult to try to explain how this works. I'll try my best. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Because it also gives me a chance to figure out if I know what the heck I'm doing and what the heck I'm talking about. NijiJP does Mahjong streams fairly often, yeah. I think just for the sake of consistency and just for the sake of being able to, what do you call this? For the sake of consistency and for the sake of just trying to get some ground as far as having a reputation in Mahjong at all, I think I'm gonna just try to do this, you know, regularly, maybe around this time, because it's the easiest time to do it. It'll only be for like maybe a couple hours though, because you know there's a Sunday stream also, Sunday morning stream. I don't want that 9. Let's kick that 9 out. So basically, we have a we got a sequence going on here. This looks like there's a sequence going on with our pins over here. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna try to see if I can work with the sequence a bit more. The red dragon's honor tiles is, I don't think it's gonna come out. Like I always say, I try to get rid of them when like mid game, which is about here in the discard, middle of the discard, because most of the time it doesn't pop up anymore. I think we can work this. The question is, can we get the tiles we want? All I know is you put down tiles and pick up other tiles and try to make hands. And if the person, before you put something down, you can steal it. Basic idea, yes. If you know how to play poker, then you have an idea on how to make the hands. Easiest thing to do for any new person, try to get 3 of a kinds of everything. That's pretty easy. Let's see, sequences like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, stuff like that. Kind of dangerous to try to steal those tiles to make a sequence, because half the time you can't win off them. Now there's specific instances where you can win off that, but it is a little tricky, so I usually advise beginners not to do that. The best thing you can do is try to aim for these color tiles, red, white, and green, as well as, let's see, no Yaku, so I have to do a Richi to do that. Okay, let's go and do the Richi. So now I'm waiting for a 3 pin, the 3 circles. That would get me a sequence over here at 2, 3, 4. We have more sequences on that. You need like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 sequences of runs and a pair. And we have 1 AFK person here. I thought Dora only worked in one direction. Let's see, Dora. So let's explain Dora just a little bit. Dora is basically a bonus tile. You cannot use that as a Yaku. Yaku and Dora are 2 different things at the end of the day. Let's get rid of this. Yaku and Dora are 2 different things at the end of the day. Yaku are the points that you need in your hand to be able to win. But just because you have a Dora doesn't mean you can win with that hand. You need a Yaku to be able to claim your Dora. Doras are like the very simplest description of how to identify a Dora is if you have a 5 tile. So there are some 5 tiles that are red. Those are Doras by default. I would call them natural Doras because you don't have any special conditions on those to claim, well, you don't have any special conditions for them to be able to be a Dora. They're just Doras by themselves. And then you have the Doras that are indicated by this thing on the upper left. So how this works and how you know what tile is a Dora is, so there is a 5 bamboo here, right? So the Dora is whatever suit that tile is plus 1. So for 5 bamboo, the Dora is going to be a 6 bamboo. That's what you're looking for if you want to claim Doras in your hand as bonus tiles. Now if you have them, great, try to work them in, but don't try to jeopardize your hand at the same time trying to use them, because oftentimes it's a little difficult and your hand might not need it. But you see, like the 6 bamboo, easy way to figure out which one they are in the game is they'll be shining, but in real life they don't shine, so it's whatever this is plus 1. Now how does that work in if the Dora indicator, we call this a Dora indicator, is a wind or a color tile? There's a specific sequence for that. For wind, it's what do you call it? Let me see. Do I grab this? Let's go and grab it. For wind, I can get rid of the green. Probably can keep the red for now. For wind, it goes like east, south, west, north. So if the Dora indicator is east, the Dora is going to be south. If it's south, it's going to be west, and so forth. Let's see, for color tiles, I think it's red, white, and green. I always get confused with that one, so there's a specific order. I'm just not sure what it is. But there's a specific order. Oh, jeez. This is gonna be tough to complete. It's gonna be tough to complete. The alcohol is kicking in. I'm doing some reckless actions right now. That's the passive that's working. Doesn't help that we have an AFK person who's only discarding whatever they're picking up. I don't know if they rage quit it or their internet sucks. One or the other. Oh! It's a weak hand. It's a very cheap hand. I think what I had has more points to it. If I managed to get the east over here, that would have been another Yaku. So there'd been 1, 2 Yaku. And then maybe another 2 from having all triplets. So there'd been 4 Yaku. Where am I? I am in second. That's not too bad. I feel like one more game. I know I said it'd probably end right about now. I'm going to do one more game. Just because I'm a little buzzed up right now. But yeah, after this round, I'm going to go really quickly what the Yaku table looks like. There's some really simple patterns and there's some specific patterns. The more specific the pattern, the higher points it's worth, but it's also that much more difficult to get them. In most cases, some higher value higher value hands are just plain impossible to get, and they're worth the same as all the other specific what do you call this? All the other specific hands. There's a really fun hand to get called 13 Orphans. What 13 Orphans basically is like 1 copy each of all 1s and 9s and all the wind tiles and all the color tiles, dragon tiles. I'll just call them dragon tiles from here on out because that's a proper term. All the dragon tiles, and then 1 extra because you need a pair. That is the most fun hand to try to get. It's like a YOLO hand basically. It is the most crap of crap hands. If you start off with it, you will probably be given a chance to re-roll like a mulligan. I think that is possible. Whenever you have a chance to do a mulligan, don't do it. Don't do it because that's such a YOLO hand and it's so fun to win with if you can actually do that. It's great. It's great. And this oak sake is still terrible. The bitterness of this thing is ridiculous. It's not as bad now that I've taken like little sips of it, but if it's just terrible. I rather would have the whiskey sake and the junmai. Both are great. I did eat before the stream, but that was like hours ago. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be negatively affected in the next 30 minutes or so. I don't get drunk that easily, but I do get tipsy pretty quickly. Actually, I don't think I've ever been drunk before. My speech rate does go up a little bit when I'm tipsy. So maybe there's that too. 6, let's skip that. Isn't this the really aged special edition one too? No, the really aged special edition one is the whiskey one. That's a special one. The oak one is it's just aged in an oak barrel, and I really don't get it. I don't get the whole oak barrel thing. Have you tried getting drunk? No, that's the thing. I haven't tried getting drunk. I don't try to get drunk because when I drink alcohol, I don't drink it to get drunk. I know that's what people mostly do. That's why they drink something as crap as beer. And I will say that every single time. Let's see, how many shots do I need to do for my fourth place wins? Losses, I think it's like 3 or 4. I'm on the 3rd shot right now. I'm doing this slowly. I'm not trying to knock them back. That's not a good idea. No Yaku. So the only way I would win this no Yaku thing is if I draw it myself, which is a fat chance of happening. And I don't have to worry about it because someone else won. So there's that. Oh, she's cute. I don't know if it's the wheelchair, but she's cute. But no, I haven't tried getting drunk before. I will tell you a drunk story. I did get close to being drunk. And that's only because someone tried to get me drunk. I think it was a prank on... it was a prank from the guy. And he tried to get me drunk. I was safe, nothing happened. But basically what happened was I was in this neighborhood in Ikebukuro, the shady neighborhood, in one of the shady neighborhoods in Tokyo. I call Kabukicho a shady neighborhood, is the shadiest neighborhood. Ikebukuro is another one, but the neighborhood around the Ikebukuro area is not as bad. It's just a normal neighborhood. But there was this nice izakaya in that neighborhood that served pork skewers. They call it yakiton over there. So yakiton, pork skewers. I thought it was a yakitori place, which is like chicken skewers, but they told me it was yakiton. Okay, so I went in. Because it came with a recommendation of the innkeeper of the innkeeper at the place I was staying at the time, and so went there, ordered some stuff. It was good. I had some shiitake. I had some shiitake skewers. I had some weird cuts of pork. I think I had some intestines, some cheeks, some other ones I don't quite remember anymore because I don't remember exactly what was ordered. But there was this old guy, okay? There was this old guy right next to me. Probably retired. He looks retired. It was late at night anyway, so he was probably just hanging out there, drinking and eating. And I think, what did I order for a drink? I don't remember what I ordered for a drink, but this guy basically suggested I try this thing called YUruHYPE. YUruHYPE is like as probably what it sounds, it is a drink that is made with hops. By definition, it is non-alcoholic. The reason why it is non-alcoholic by definition is because it's like 0.5% alcohol. However, here's the big kicker. I didn't realize that YUruHYPE is used as a mixer drink, meaning there is something added. You have like another drink and you put YUruHYPE into that drink, and the actual drink that you put the YUruHYPE into is alcoholic. I didn't know it was sochu. Sochu is alcoholic. 100% alcoholic. Probably not probably not that high of a percentage. Probably close to like 10 or something. But oh, double run. I don't even know what I was doing. I was just playing blind. How much did I get from that? Okay, both cheap pens. They got off pretty easy. At least I got second place so far, but it's still a long way to the end here. Anyway, so sochu, mix it with a little YUruHYPE. It tasted good. It tasted okay. It's a little bitter because of the hops from the YUruHYPE. It was alright. Would I order it again? Probably yes. Probably yes, actually. However, I was wondering why I was feeling tipsy after like drinking half of the YUruHYPE. And it's like, whoa, why do I feel tipsy? This usually does not happen. And I didn't confront the guy about it. He already left by the time I ordered it. I think I had like 2 bottles of YUruHYPE, so I also had 2 things of sochu. And I was by the end of the second sochu, I was still fine, but I definitely was feeling in my head. And if I really wanted to, I could like walk like a drunk, but I wasn't like dead drunk. I could still walk. I made it back just fine from the Yakiton place to the inn, which wasn't too far. It was maybe like, how far was it? I want to say it was about maybe half a mile to 1 mile. It wasn't too far, but it was walkable. It's definitely walkable. But yeah, that was my experience with an old guy recommending me a drink that I probably, in other circumstances, would probably have got me like roofied up or something. But I was fine. I trusted the guy. I trusted the old guy, but holy crap, he played the prank on me, and it got me good. By the time I got to the inn, the innkeeper, I told the innkeeper I went to the Yakiton place for dinner, and he was surprised I did that, and he asked if I liked it. I did like it, and I went there again another time with some other people I met. And but I did tell him that someone did trick me into drinking, so I was a little drunk and I needed to go to sleep like really badly that night, because I'm a sleepy drunk. I don't do anything else. So the one who makes the best hand wins the points, or what decides who loses the points. So here's the thing, how as far as winning the points and losing points. If you complete your hand, then depending on how you complete your hand, you get points, okay? So if someone discards the tile that you need, they lose points. If you draw the tile that you need to complete your hand, everyone else loses points. That's how it works. Now, how you determine how much you lose and stuff like that, it depends on what hand you have. There's a bunch of combinations of rules that go along with it. So that's why I made the suggestions that I did, as far as keep an eye on this, keep an eye on that. You might want to go for this if you're a beginner, kind of thing. And you just kind of learn as you go. That's really the best you can do, to be honest. And I do not want to claim that 9. I do not have a good hand for this. So my hand right now is in position to have like 3 of a kind. If I try to call any tiles, it's probably a bad idea. But that Dora does look pretty tasty. Okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna start tossing my 9s out. Normally I wouldn't do that, but the Dora is pretty tasty right now, and I kind of want to see if I can like complete my hand with the Dora, which means lots of points. So I'm gonna dismantle my hand and see if I can like salvage this. See if I can salvage this to make it work. So the hand I'm trying to go for right now is called All Simples. It's basically a hand that only has numbers from 2 through 8 of any suit. But even with that, you have to get like 3 of a kind, sequences, all that stuff, right? So I have 3 Dora over here. They're shiny. I need at least 1 Yaku from my hand to be able to claim it. So to do that, we have some things already going for us here. We have a pair of 6s here, a pair of 3s here. If I can get another tile to complete these, then I would have been able to get closer to the hand I had, but someone else won. So explaining all that is a little bit of a moot point at this point. Sleepy drunk is probably the safest kind of drunk you can be. Yeah, but you don't want to sleep in the middle of the road, which I have seen quite a bit in Japan. You know what? We got second quite a few times. I think that's good enough for today. I would keep going, but I do have a stream at 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. We'll be doing a food review, a snack review in the morning, because we didn't get to do the December snack box review from Tokyo Treat. We will be doing that. We didn't get to do the December snack box review for Tokyo Treat last month because it came out very late. So we're gonna do it tomorrow instead. But let me just show you really quick what you can expect from the, now this is the learning center. So this is, I guess, a fairly exhaustive explanation on what to go for your hands. So up here, there's like 1 Han, 2 Han, 3 Han, 6 Han. This is basically the Yaku. They call it Han, but it's basically the Yaku. Yaku overview, Han overview. These are the requirements that you can shoot for to complete a hand. So there's a requirement that you can shoot for to complete a hand. Richi is basically you can have whatever in your hand. You toss as long as you're like 1 away from winning, you can toss out a Richi stick, which is like 1,000 points. And if you win it with that bet, basically you can claim a win. You can claim a win. You can claim points. You move on to the next round. The only downside to doing a Richi, and you'll be offered to do this every single time, is if you take the Richi, what you're basically saying to everyone else is, I bet I can win with my hand without changing it. And that's basically what you do when you declare Richi. You bet 1,000 points, and you can only win off what people draw, what people discard, or what you draw. If you draw something and want to change your hand, you cannot do it. You must either use it or discard it. That's the conditions with the Richi. All simples, this is fairly simple. This is the basic hand a lot of people go for. It is just 2 through 8 of any of the suits that have 2 through 8, which is like the character tiles is red tiles, the pin tiles, the circle tiles, and the bamboo tiles. Those are basically what you can do. It can be a mixed match of anything. It can be runs, it can be 3 of a kind, it doesn't matter, but they have to be 2 through 8 and nothing else. You can have it open or you can have it closed. Open means if it's closed, you don't have any of your tiles revealed. If it's open, part of your tiles is revealed. If that's the case, I mean, it doesn't affect your points much. It doesn't affect your points any in the case of all simples, which is the Tanyao, the other name for it. But just know you are kind of limited, and it's pretty predictable. It's pretty predictable hand to anyone else who's experienced, and they will try to avoid your tiles. Basically, that's basically how it is. Fully conceal. This is the other way to win. I think you can have any sort of combinations in your hand, but that means basically you do not reveal any part of your tiles, any part of your hand. This is very difficult because the temptation of doing a pawn or a chi is high. Pawn is you claim a tile to make a 3 of a kind. A chi is you claim a tile to make a sequence. It is very tempting. But you will be rewarded if you can manage to somehow draw all the tiles you need and not reveal a part of your hand. There's situations for everything. So, I mean, this just basically gives you options. Seat wind is, well, it changes each round basically, or is it round? Yeah, let's just call it round. I don't know the best way to describe it, but round. It changes each round. If you match the wind to your round, then you can get a point to that. But you must have 3 to be able to claim that point. If you only have 2 for a pair, it doesn't count. Prevalent wind, that is the overall round, I guess is the best way to describe it. Typically it's going to be east and south if you go into a south round, but you can also go to a west round or a north round. No, I don't think it goes past a west round, because west round is typically a tiebreaker round, but I've seen it go, it happens every once in a while. It's very rare. But if you do either of those, that's a point. You need just keep in mind you need at least 1 point, 1 Yaku, 1 Han in your hand to be able to claim Claim a win, basically. Claim points that way. Dragons, red, white, and green, or green. If you gather those are easy points to have, and a really quick way to be able to just do whatever with your hand and win with it. Pinfu. This is a little bit difficult to explain, but basically what a pinfu is, you have all sequences in your hand, like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. It can be any mix of what do you call this? It can be any mix of suits. You cannot have any honors or dragons in it because those don't have sequences. They must be numbered. But also the biggest kicker to this is your hand has to be closed. So this is why I say calling a chi is very dangerous, because most of the time you can't win it because your hand has to be closed to be able to claim a pinfu hand or anything else that usually requires a sequence. That's what this Mezen Chi only means, closed hand only. Pure double sequence. This is a little bit tricky to wrap your head around, but the simplest way to think about it is you have two sequences, two exact same sequences in the exact same suit. So in this example, you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 of the character tiles, the mon tiles. If you have that, that is a Yaku. And the rest of your hand can be anything. But again, it has to be closed. Again, chis are dangerous. Don't do it. Don't do it unless you know what you're doing. There is a place for chi, calling a chi, but it is tricky. Robbing a con, this is a little bit difficult to explain, so I'm not going to go into it, but there's like a special win condition that can get you an extra point, but it's like, it doesn't come up very often. But if you watch Saki, this comes up a lot, because Saki is Mahjong magic, basically. So I'm not going to explain that. That's special. You can read up on it and see how it works. After a con, also another special thing. Don't worry about it. Under the sea. This one is special because your hand can be anything. It can be closed. It can be open. But here's the biggest kicker. You have to win on the very last tile of the game. As that sound, it is very tricky and near impossible to do. But if you do it, it's 1 extra point. Just 1, not more, just 1. Under the river, win a hand by calling Ron on the last discarded tile. Same thing. You win on the last tile of that game, but it's a tile that someone has discarded. Either way, you can't have Under the Sea and Under the River at the same time. But it's on the last tile. It can be, your hand can be anything, but it's also really hard to do. Ipatsu. So this one's not as tricky, but it's also very RNG heavy. Ipatsu is winning a hand right after yuruHYPE, and you have to win it within like 1 round of everyone, and no one during that round can do a pawn, con, or chi. If someone calls a pawn, con, or chi, after you call a richi, you cannot claim Ipatsu. You can only claim Ipatsu if the round goes uninterrupted and you win either by sumo or ron. It's like a bonus point. It's like, good job, you were able to win right after you declared like you were gonna try to win. So yeah. Dora is this bonus points. You must have a Yaku to win. These are extra points. It boosts up your overall score. Good. Red 5 Dora is the same thing as a Yaku. Is the same thing as a Dora. Kita. This only happens in 3-player Mahjong. Don't worry about it. I don't know how this thing works, but basically, in 3-player Mahjong, there is no north seat, so north tiles become like some sort of Dora. Don't worry about it. And the rest of this is kind of weird. I'm not even going to go into it because those are special rules. Those are special rules. And then everything else you can read through. Basically, for normal hands, you try to stack up as many of these win conditions as possible. These are the easiest to get. You can combine 2 Han hands with 1 Han hands, depending on what you have. Same thing with 3 Han hands. 6 Han is very special. Apparently there's only one kind of hand here. I don't usually see this, but it happens. It's basically a full flush like in poker, but you have 14 tiles instead of 5 cards. Mangan. I think these are like special ones also. But the one Mangan I will mention that's not this one that's listed is that if you somehow discard this only happens at the end of a round, and if you discard all terminals and all honors and no one runs cheese or pawns off you, no one pawns or cheese off you, then you actually get a Mangan that way. I've done it a couple of times because I was trying to go for something else, but it happens. So, Yakuman are the extra special hands. Look at these at your own time. They are very specific. Some are easier to do than others. The one that I was talking about that's kind of near impossible is, where is it? Where's 13 Orphans? 13 Orphans, this fun one over here. It consists of 9s of all the numbered suits, 1 of each wind, 1 of each color, and then you have to get a duplicate of any of these to be able to call it. That's the fun one. Double Yakuman is extra fun. So Yakuman is, I think, worth 32,000 points if you get it. Double Yakuman is twice that, 64,000 points. And if you thought Yakuman was going to like kill someone, Double Yakuman is going to kill someone even more. There's no reason to do it other than style points, if you can do it for style points. Just saying. Just saying. That's the alcohol talking. I don't want to drink more to like be like this all the time, but it's the only, apparently it's the best way to do this. The best way to do this. 4-winded discard. I don't think I've seen these, to be honest. 9 different terminals and honors? I don't think I've seen this. I think draw tiles are conditions for a mulligan. But if you get like 4... Okay, so... Oh, okay. I get it. So 4-wind discard, this happens once in a while. Not too often, but basically what happens is if during the first turn of a match, if everyone discards the same wind tiles, in this example north, like everyone has a copy of wind tile in their hands, right? And everyone discards the same tile, then you have to redraw the entire hand. Everyone's hand has to be redrawn. Now, if you're the 4th person and you have that 4th wind tile for some reason, you have 2 choices. You discard it because you don't like your hand, or you discard it to troll everyone. Those are the only 2 options. Basically, the only 2 options. 4-con abortion. This sounds really, really bad, but basically what it means, so con is 4 of a kind. If you have a 3 of a kind, which is, I guess, technically a pawn, there's no reason to do a con, because they're worth the same, essentially. But if 2 or more players call con more than 4 times, or I think it's just 4 times. That affects the dead wall. Whenever you call con, you draw a tile from the dead wall, which is that thing on the upper left that we showed earlier. It'll be more clear the next time we do this. But the dead wall is basically... You don't see it in Mahjong Soul, but physically what it is, it's a dead wall. It is called a dead wall because those tiles cannot be used in the game. You basically set aside, I want to say 14 tiles. 14 tiles is separated from the wall of the game, and those 14 tiles cannot be used by anyone in the game except for specific reasons. So the 5 door indicators that you see, that's the top part of the dead wall, and there's 5 more under there. The 5 under there are used for extra bonus tiles if your hand is fully closed. So there's a reason why you want to keep your hand closed, is because if you win with a closed hand, you can claim the tiles underneath that dead wall as bonus points if you have them. And for each flipped tile, basically, you have a chance for getting extra bonus points. But there's only 5 of them, so that 5 times 2 equals 10. What happens to the other 4? The other 4 is from this 4-con abortion. Whenever you do a con, you draw a tile from those extra 4 tiles you don't see. And that's basically just giving you an extra tile that you can probably use. You may or may not be able to use it. If you can't use it, fine, discard it. If you can use it, great. Then you can complete your hand the way you see fit. But if you use I guess if it's just one person, the 4-con abortion doesn't count. I didn't realize that this rule was that specific though. But anyway, let's just say 4 cons. If you're the 4th person with if you are the person with a 4th con, and you have the choice to do the 4th con, you have 2 options. One, you don't like your hand and you want to do over the round because your hand is crap. There's someone else on the other side of the table that looks like they're about to win. You want to sabotage them. You call that 4th con. Or if you have the 4th con and nothing else is happening and you're near the end of the game, but you don't want the round to move, you call that 4th con, start the round over, no penalties, but everyone will hate you. Everyone will hate you either way. Same thing with this 4-win discard, because someone is probably going to have a really good starting hand and they're going to hate you for restarting the round and shuffling, and they get a really bad hand after that shuffle. That's just how it works. That's just how it happens. I don't know how else to explain it. 9 different honors and terminals and honors. This is the one that you do not want to. This is the one you don't want to mulligan on, because if you look at the description here, 9 different terminals and honors. That is like 9/13ths or 9/14ths, depending on how you look at it, away from a 13 orphans. Most people, whenever they get this, do not shuffle because they want to go for the style points and get the 13 orphans. 13 orphans is really cool to pull off if you can pull it off. But it's also really, really easy to spot if someone is going for it, because they'll be discarding every single simple tile. I call simple tiles 2 through 8 because that's what it's normally used for. It's really easy to spot, but yeah, there are some hands that are easier to spot than others based on discards, and you have to be wary of the signals, especially on higher level tables, because everyone else will be looking for it. 4-player Ricci, this does happen. Everyone else calls Ricci. If you're the fourth person to call Ricci, it's basically for the lulz at that point. Because why would you be the 4th person to call a Ricci? 3 other people have called Ricci, and you can possibly avoid all the tiles that they want. But if you have no safe tiles to discard, and you can call a Ricci, I would call the Ricci, sabotage everyone, restart the round. But otherwise, it's mainly for the lulz. That's what it is. That's what it is. This is so specific, I'm almost sure you could just curse them for a 4th con. It happens. This rules exist because it happens. Now, I don't know if anyone else here has played any other type of Mahjong. I know Chinese Mahjong is chaotic. I don't know the rules for that. My grandma, I think, used to play some sort of Chinese variation of Mahjong, and I watched her play once before, It was very chaotic. I did not know what to do. I like Japanese Mahjong because it's structured. There are expectations here. There are actual rules. Well, there are actual rules on the other ones too, but these are easier to understand. Just saying. I love it when the fourth player says it's Riichi time, and Riichis are all over the board. It happens. It happens. I have done it before. If I'm not the one who's done it before, someone else has done it before. The draw conditions are fun to do when you want to screw someone over, or you just want to redo because your hand is crap, and then everyone else gets screwed over anyway. Either way, someone's getting screwed. So yeah, just saying, just saying. But yeah, if you want to really learn Mahjong, you can brush up at least on these one-han tiles. Try to learn the one-han tiles really, really well. Maybe learn a couple of the two-han tiles, because some of them overlap with that one-han tiles. You can combine them. Maybe the three-han tiles too, but that's a little bit tougher. You usually want to combine like 1 and 2, or go for specific hands over here. But a lot of this is just experience that you gain by playing more. That's really all there is to it. You are not expected to learn all these rules at the start, but definitely try to learn the one-han rules first. Play some games, get beat up a lot, win some, get beat up a lot, win a little bit more, and then you learn. Once you learn that, you learn how to read the discards, you learn from the discards what everyone else has, and then you get better from there. It takes time, but it's fun once you actually do it. It's a bit more complicated than most other table games, old table games like, chess, checkers, blackjack, Yahtzee, poker. It's a bit more complicated than that, but it does have quite a bit of strategy and skill to it compared to those. Well, it has more skill than poker does anyway. I don't like poker. I like poker to like mess around with, but I don't like poker because it's mainly just bluffing, and I hate bluffing as the only strategy. Bluffing as a strategy is fine, but as the only strategy, I don't like it. You can bluff in Mahjong, and bluffing in Mahjong is a very high level skill that you can possibly pull off once you know what everyone else is doing and what you can expect from all the other players. There's some habits you can possibly also learn while playing, but that also is very player dependent. Just start easy. You eventually get there. I need to relearn all my skills, but because basically I used to be, let's just say I used to be maybe a level 40 or 50 Mahjong player, RPG terms, not actual ranking terms. I think I was lower than that. Tenho has specific rankings, and I was like maybe on the lower mid range. They don't use the same ranking system as Mahjong Soul, but I think I was on the lower mid-range of ranking when I was actually very, very active in Mahjong. But I still had developed some skills there that I lost because I've been inactive, and I need to get them back if I'm going to be doing this training arc. Basically. But yeah, that's the quick and dirty of the Mahjong tutorial. I will try to do this every Saturday around this time. I think originally I was going to do like open rooms, friendly matches, but I think what I'm gonna do is maybe for this first month do like a training arc, and if we have enough people, then we can start doing like private rooms with chat, because I think that would be fun to do. But we're probably all going to have to learn and relearn stuff by doing like the matches as we go, at least through this month, and then we'll see what next month brings. For all I know, Mahjong could be changed to like Tetra.io, which is more accessible to people, but I want to do Mahjong. I might be stubborn about this, but I want to do Mahjong because I know there are some people who are interested in trying to learn this, so yeah. Anyway, it's almost midnight to where I am. I need to sleep because in about 9 or so hours I am going to be doing another stream, so Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Like I said, this is gonna be like mostly a training arc, not just for me, but for everyone else who wants to learn it. So I'll do the best as I can to explain it. Hopefully not under the influence of alcohol, but I will admit that alcohol does help. And drinking with Mahjong is not unusual. It's better than smoking anyway, so maybe I'll reserve some alcohol for future streams. But if I run out of alcohol, I run out of alcohol. I'm not gonna buy that. I'm not gonna buy more if I don't need it. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Have a nice rest of your day and see you next time. Goodbye. Good night. See ya.